What's up, everybody? Listen,
you're a little squeaky.
I am a little squeaky, especially when I talk loud. So we're gonna say hi to Dale's new channel, Bourbon Beyond Outdoors. Let me tell you, brother, I like his channel. I like all of his channel. It's pretty good. So you're doing a good job there. Corbin watched with me earlier, and he was like, Dale's Crook. Hi, Dink and Tank. How are y'all? There's Brother Troy Sutton. Hello, Troy.
You're gonna do it again.
Hello. There is
There's
3B
a small
Homestead.
construction site going on behind the camera. Here, hold on. You're gonna drop it off there again.
Let's see. There's Teresa Jukowitz. I know. We're getting banged everywhere and all kinds of stuff. We got Duncan Family Farm. Greg and Donna, hello. Muddy Acres Homestead, hello. Let's see. I've been gone for a week and I couldn't remember how to do this. Golly. There's Lori Carp. Hello, Miss Lori. Listen, I'm going to go ahead and share that. I'm going to miss out on some of these prizes, but that's okay because my prize here is getting to talk with y'all guys. I have a feeling that's going to be a long live because there's more and more people entering for the giveaway. And that takes forever.
I saw somebody else pass 200. I was scrolling through a while ago, and I saw somebody else. I can't remember who it was.
That is awesome. Congratulations. Woohoo! Okay, Lindy Okie Dokie. So, hello.
Which one's running farm to table? Is
that it could be Ryan. It could be Keith. Hello, Brother Jeff. Hello. Yes. Hold on. I'm going to pin this right quick before it goes crazy. Let's see. Bowen. Hi, Bowen. Everybody saying hi to each other. Yes. Congratulations to all the growing channels. It's amazing to see others grow. Everybody's saying hello. I'm feeling a little better than I was before. I did go take Christopher to school this morning, and then I had to run a few errands after that. I had one video that had over 13,000 views. That was all it took. That's awesome. Yeah, it's hit or miss. That algorithm is crazy on what video gets seen more. Yeah, it's crazy. You could have one, and then is Chris sick also?
I don't get sick.
No. The weather, if he sounds funny, it's
I
the
get,
weather.
Like sinus stuff, but I don't count that as sick.
Then we have Peter. Hi, Peter. Sup, Belt Loop Homestead.
Mike just said that.
Belt Loop. Do what? Oh. Well, look who it is.
Hey.
Fish.
What's going on?
Hey. Is it actually going to be Paul Case Farms? Well, hello, Paul.
Yo. What's up?
Now, there is Flint and Sam. Hello, hello.
Hey, hey.
I just found this live on YouTube homepage. Can you tell me who you are and what your channel is about? That has to
Look.
be Flint. That has to be Flint.
Oh, yeah.
Can't
How
do
the
it.
hell were they? How's your day, pal?
I've had a really good day.
How you liking that new truck?
That new truck's working out marvelously.
Nice. Now,
Pulled a load of
you put
cattle
your
with.
same hay bed on all of them, right? You just move it to the new truck or whatever?
Hi, Scotty.
Nope.
No.
The new truck's actually a short bed, and my hay bed's a full length one. So it'll stay on the one it's on. I try to keep a truck that I can pull a trailer with without having to tote all that extra weight around. Those unroller beds start out at weighing a ton.
Right. They're pretty heavy all by themselves.
Yeah. And
Now, am I closer? Am I closer to getting a cup? He looks over. I knew his head was going to go.
the master maker of cups is sitting in the room next to me listening. So no, she's talking about a Paul case
stuff either. We'll buy
Yeah,
our
we'll
cup.
buy our cup.
I don't care.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, I told Faith she needs to start doing that so she can make money here without having to go anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, Johnny.
I don't know how long you'd have to do it to make money.
Right.
Teresa was like, I don't have one of them.
Y'all need to have a little sweatshop out there.
A little sweatshop?
I mean, you already got, like, all the employees. So,
yeah, well, here's the problem with that. Nobody out here wants to work.
Oh.
None of the kids want to work.
So they really Americanized.
Yeah. The first world problem. They're all definitely Gen Z kids.
No, I'm sorry. I was doing something else while he's talking to me, Chris. I have used the new truck to pull a load of calves to the sale barn today. And after driving it, pulling my stock trailer, my other trucks have all been wore out. That's what my opinion is.
Yeah.
It don't have any of that noise that you get from old truck stuff.
Yep.
Hey, what are you getting into? Hello, RNC Acres. Marissa's in.
Yeah, I told her earlier I want to get another truck like mine that's not all
Hi, Christine.
lifted up and big tires and all that stuff. I want to get another. It doesn't have to be the big cab, but I'm not against that either. But I want to get one.
Hi, Dina.
That I can put a flatbed on and use it for like flatbed stuff, tow truck or like tow pig kind of stuff, and not have to worry about the trailer's not fitting on my truck because of the lift and all that crap. Yeah. If I get one and leave it the stock ride height,
hi, Johnny again.
Normal tires and just use it for towing.
I don't know on Fords if they didn't lift all of them a little bit.
Oh, this one is definitely aftermarket lift.
Yeah.
I mean, those are pretty good size anyway, but they had to put more on it to get the 37s. So it's touch and go on certain goosenecks because it's so high with the between the lift and the bigger tires, it lifted the back of the bed pretty high. So I took the chance on getting into the sides of the beds and whatnot.
And getting hooked onto a trailer and it all riding on the back axle of the trailer.
Right, yeah. The angle of it gets all kind of screwy sometimes.
Carol.
But if I get a regular, like a stock ride height one, then I don't have to worry about any of that.
Hit that.
Best one of the Fords that I had that was a diesel, of any of the Fords, probably was a 90 model 3/4 ton.
Yeah.
And I ruined it pretty badly. I run into a stump with the front differential, and believe it or not, bent the frame.
Nice.
And, my friend put it on his frame straightener, and he said, I can get it back to straight, but it needs to go a little farther because it'll spring back, and I can't get it.
Thank
Right.
you.
He devised a way to get that extra that he needed, and it bent his frame machine.
Oh,
I'm like, you maybe should have cut something apart here.
Right.
Ouch.
right?
Never did go the same. It was always wet in one of the front tires.
Right.
Mm-mm.
But it
Hi,
had
Heather.
I like that engine,
yeah.
but it's definitely going to be a diesel. I'm not 100% stuck on standard because I have mine that's a standard. So if I get an automatic, then she can drive it if she needed to or something.
I didn't know it until that last one of those that I had, and I had sold it. So I'd been driving it over 10 years, and then I sold it, and the old boy that bought it had several of them. And he said, I could tell you right away that truck had a problem when I got it from you. And I fixed it. And I'm like, well, what was the problem? He said it had an automatic transmission injection pump. They're governed to 2,500 RPM, automatic. And he said, I changed it. And oh, yeah, that thing's got all kinds of power. I sold it because I thought it was going to blow up. It had 290 on the meter when I got it, and I drove it 10 years. And so I was just sure it didn't have a lot of life left in it. But the one that I had the best with and probably got the best fuel mileage wasn't even a turbo. It was just
I don't know. I think mine's only got 214. And for a diesel, that's barely broke in.
Yep.
Say hi.
Hey,
Good night.
I've been missing a lot of these hellos over here in the chat. I seen old Dan's name come up.
There's Chris,
speaking of friends,
Heather,
speaking
and
of friends,
Avid,
Yeah.
TJ.
I just want to
You
say, Chris,
Say hi, Paul.
Hi, Paul.
Hi. How are you?
Can you say hi, Carol?
Well, hey.
Can you say hi, Bowen? Bowen.
hi.
Bowen. Bowen. Mm-hmm. Say hi, Tamara.
And Dale, you can't see him, but Dale's down here in the chat. So
Yeah.
that means nothing to you.
I like the little guy's hat. Yup.
Well, I seen that Johnny had a little stuck in the snow issue. I wondered if now he's not going to think about getting that 4-wheel drive fixed.
Right.
He told me that truck has been out of his possession for a while. He sold it and then they bought it back. And he said the 4-wheel drive didn't work on it when they sold it, and it still don't.
Right.
He says he thinks his 2009 has 150K.
No, 09 is the flatbed, isn't it?
I think that thing must be older than that.
Can you say hi, Lynn?
No, I think he might be an 04. So
Yeah,
what
I think
what
you're right.
3/4 ton did he said his 3/4 ton went to the stuff? I don't guess I know that one.
It's a newer one. I think it's got the 6.7 in it, and he don't like it as well as the 5.9.
Well, yeah. It's hard to
hi,
beat
Courtney.
the 5.9. See, it was an 04. That's what I thought. His red one, I think, is the 04.
So
He said that truck never looked that nice whenever they owned it the first time, and when he sold it, whoever bought it and had it put a flatbed on it that's really nice.
Yeah.
And he's like, when we got it bought back, well, then it was a nicer truck. I have never had that happen to me.
Yeah, no.
Me neither. Never had a look.
Yeah, that's Mike and Jason.
well, I gotta run. That's why I hopped on for a minute.
You got to run.
Yeah, I'm working on something for the other friends, and I cannot focus doing two things at one time.
Good.
I was just watching Bland's Promised Land and Ann Dale's deal before I came over here, and they were talking about being prepared for stuff like wildfire or whatever.
Yeah.
She didn't put my comment up there, but my big comment was for the evening, if I had to run for my life, I think I'd probably meet Jesus.
I saw that. I saw that.
Hi, Judy.
They didn't put that on screen at all.
I wonder why.
So, are you running?
So are you running, Bowen?
Yeah, I gotta go.
Okay.
Bye, guys.
Good.
Bye,
Bye.
Bowen.
Bye, Courtney.
Goodbye.
Goodbye, Bowen.
Bye.
Oh. Just a while ago, he said hi. He said hi, Ryder. Can you say hi, Ryder?
Hi.
You don't see him.
Say hi, Courtney.
Hi.
There's Tony at our cabin in the woods. Hello, Tony. The 2009 has a lot of power, way more than the 5.9. I like driving the dually more.
Calm.
I think there might have been a time this last week where he didn't like driving the dually more. When he had that that hollowed out spot pictured in his video where that dually had just moved the snow and not went anywhere. That would have been the time that the 3/4 ton would have been the choice.
Go get Faith. You got to ask Faith first. And just take it.
There's Greg. Did you say hi to Greg? You probably did. I'm deaf. Yeah, yep, there was a time. I've had instances like that. Good judgment comes from experience,
That's right.
and most of that comes from poor judgment.
Yeah.
I've had
It's
that
kind of
too.
weird how that goes full circle, doesn't it?
It does.
Poor judgment causes this, causes that, and you get better judgment from it. Weird.
Yeah.
So, Carol, how have you been?
Oh, pretty good. I got a little bit of a sinus and sore throat, but other than that, doing pretty good. Did y'all get a lot of snow?
Yes.
We got right at 10 inches.
Wow. Oh, well, ours came and went all at the same time. The temperature was melting at the time it was coming down. It got white, but that was it. It was
That's
gone.
the kind of snow I like to have.
Well,
Unfortunately,
we're down here in Georgia, so
I'm north of the Leonards, and I only got about 5.5 or 6 inches.
Yeah, it was weird how it kind of did this. It rolled around west of us, and when it came across us, it was actually moving south to north. It was kind of weird. So, like, the arms got pretty close to us. They're not physically close to us. They're a couple hours away, but their snow load was about the same as ours, 9 or 10ish. But it was weird how, like, the further from Tulsa anyway, the further south you went, the more snow you got. It's kind of opposite from normal. Normally, it's Kansas and the north up part of Oklahoma get more than us because we're further south. But it was weird how it kind of circled around backwards. I did not miss that new puppy whiny crap over here. My dog don't make noise.
Christopher got a new puppy.
Johnny says, "Well, I thought I had a tractor."
Yeah, I saw that.
There's a story there.
506.
I bet there's a story there that'll come out in video.
Yeah, but he ain't gonna tell you. He'll just tell you to watch the video.
Someone stole your tractor.
Yeah, Frosty the Snowman did.
Right. Yeah. Buried it.
I have not started a tractor in over a week, but I have used my skid loader several times, and that stupid thing will just start like it's nothing. Now, here's what I've been doing, Chris. I learned a trick from an old truck driver years ago. He told me, I don't buy any of that anti-gel stuff. Half of it don't work anyway. He said, I put 1 gallon of unleaded fuel in 100 gallon of diesel. And I'm like, well, if that works, I want to make sure it's really good. So I've been putting 1 gallon of unleaded fuel in 50 gallon of diesel.
oh,
And I ain't having no problems.
You were everywhere tonight, little boy.
well, we got lots of mud down here, folks.
Yeah, it's
And
all
we're
turned to
tracking
mud now. For sure.
The dogs are tracking it, and we're tracking it, and so I'm constantly mopping behind them.
Right.
We have mud in the afternoons, but first thing in the morning, it's been being frozen still.
Right.
It makes it to where I can get my choring done without tracking everything up real bad. But
Oh, that's good.
as long as you do it early enough.
Yeah. Got to get up and get started.
It's supposed to be almost 60, I think, Friday.
Yeah, that's crazy. And then
it's ridiculous.
Here today.
They're predicting another cold snap Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, but they're softening up on that some. They had it earlier today. It was like 24 and a low of 7 on Monday.
Wow.
And then when I looked a while ago, there was no single digits on the deal. So maybe by the time it gets here, it'll totally fizzle out and we'll barely be below freezing.
That'll be good.
But I shortened up my chores a lot today. There won't be no more packing that water hose to water a bunch of cattle because I sowed them. Hauled them off.
I've got to get to the sale and take three and 3 roosters.
Right, come on.
He's making Dale proud.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
How far do you have to go to take those to a sale?
Well, there's not any sale barns right here, so I go about 90 miles in one direction. That's over toward Alabama, and about 106 miles in the other direction to the only sale barn that side of Georgia.
Yeah.
And then it's a little over 100 miles to the one up north of here. So either way, it's almost 100 miles anywhere.
Second largest stockyards in the United States that sells cattle is about 25 miles from me.
Wow.
And I don't sell there. I go the other way, and it's about 35. Just one of those things. Feel like I'm a little fish in a big pond at that other place.
Yeah, well, one of the places here is huge, and it's got like 3 auctions going at one time. So I don't like to go there either because I can't keep up with what I'm selling there.
Well, Johnny, if you want to know how the market was, look at the video I just posted a while ago.
There you go.
Learn about fair play.
That's what he tells you, isn't it?
Yep, every time. Well, there's a video coming out about that.
Yeah.
No, the market was very good today. I actually sold cattle higher. Well, I'll just tell you, my calves averaged on 22 head $1,622 a piece.
Wow.
Yeah. The average on the ones that I sold in September was like under $800 a piece. So,
and this being winter time, here the prices are cheaper now if you buy them now.
Yeah. Because
of having to buy hay and all.
Yeah, but the cattle market has took a steep jump because the supply is low.
Yeah.
And what brought that on is 2 years of drought or 3 through the section of the country where we live here, Oklahoma, Kansas, and Texas. And a lot of producers just hung it up, hauled their cows off and sold them. And when they do that, they hurt the number of calves that go to the market in the coming years.
Yeah.
And they say that supply is pushing the prices higher.
Well, didn't the government shoot off a bunch of cattle too there for a while?
Yeah.
We're not supposed to talk about that.
Right now, they've went ahead and closed the border because of a deal, and so there's no Mexican cattle coming in. Okay. But a lot of people didn't even know we were getting cattle imported from Mexico when the crap hit the fan on that thing. They import a lot of beef into the United States, and that makes sense to me.
Yeah.
And they export some. It looks to me like it'd just be cheaper to use our own. But
yeah, really.
Lynn asked me a question I want to try to answer. Lynn, I am about 7 miles from the southwest corner of Joplin, and I'm about 25 miles from the Joplin Regional Yards at Carthage. I don't know which one she was interested in, but I am right on the Missouri-Oklahoma line, 3 miles south of I-44, which crosses right in the corner. So,
yep.
Not very far from Kansas.
Well, are you guys going to any meetups this year?
I don't know, Amy. Do you think you might go to 10 Killer?
Yes. Yep. 10 Killer. We're going to is it Mid America with Eufaula. Yeah.
Is there a area? Somebody said something. There's a calendar that you can go to and look up meetups. Yep. Do y'all know where that is?
Webb's Web.
I think it's
Webb's Web. Old Ralph over there at Webb's got that.
Okay.
I was gonna say his.
All right.
10 Killer, help me out, Chris. Amy, maybe you know it's the 25th, 26th, and 27th of April.
Yep.
Something like that. If it's not 25, 26, 27, it's 24, 25, 26,
no,
something like it.
It's 25, 26.
It's something like that, yeah.
It's a Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Yep.
And I know I'm going to be there on Saturday. I'd like to say I'm going to show up on Friday and mess around too with y'all, but it kind of depends on what my wife tells me to do. I just try to make her happy and do what she says to do.
You got to live there, right?
I know. You know, it is a real good arrangement when we both happy.
Yeah.
Because when one of us ain't happy, neither one of us going to be very happy.
Yeah, I understand that, guys.
Was there a song about that? If Mama ain't happy,
ain't nobody happy.
I like Jeff Foxworthy's version.
Well,
said, if she ain't happy, you ain't happy. And if she ain't happy long enough, you're going to be unhappy with half your crap.
Half usually.
She might as well go ahead and take all of it if she decided to get rid of me like that, you know.
I ain't got but like 2 or 3 things I would want anyway. She could have the rest of it. I don't want half this crap anyway.
Anita and I've been married.
Crap we got because she wanted it. I've got a dog and an old truck.
Anita and I've been married for 30 and a half years, and we dated for 4 years before we got married. And she looked at me the other day and said, "Honey, I love you." And I said, "No, you don't. You just dated me once and couldn't get rid of me and decided you might as well get all the benefits." Right. And she looked at me kind of like, "Well, you're not wrong."
We are still going, right?
Yeah, Tony, we're going to that one too. I mean, that's not a meetup, but we're definitely going to that one too.
Where's that one at? Is that one in Pryor?
That's the one in Pryor, yeah. It's a expo, not a meetup.
Is that the Texas one?
No, that's Pryor,
Oklahoma. Now, did that one you have to buy tickets to get in online ahead of time last year?
Well, you could get them at the door too, but they sold them ahead of time too. Mm-hmm. But it was like for the weekend. You bought the tickets. You got both days.
Mm-hmm.
But the one at 10 Killer, and I assume the one at Eufaula is not going to cost anything to go to those meetups.
No, just if you want to camp or whatever.
Yeah,
but to just go there, no.
Okay, what about the MT Homestead Mid America's thing, guy?
It's the same way. The only money is if you want to camp.
If you want to camp.
Yeah.
And that's Mid America.
Yeah, his is the Mid America one.
Okay. What about the Texas Expo or whatever? Do y'all know anything about it?
The what?
Okay, I know Desi.
Sorry, that was me.
Are going to it, and I hadn't heard a thing about it, so I was just wondering. Well, hey there. He done popped in and popped off of there real quick.
Oh, Dale'll be back. He's having.
I think he's got some echoes.
He had something playing. It's kind of like my computer. Usually, there's a lot of playing, and there's like 9 windows open, and I can't tell which one the music's coming from. You know?
I know that. All right, guys. Well, it was good seeing all y'all, and I'm gonna hop out of here, and y'all carry on. I'll be in the back. Bye.
Feel better, Carol.
Okay, I will. Thanks. Bye.
Goodbye.
-20 and black eyes everywhere.
Oh no, thank you.
A few years ago, we had and last year wasn't all that like wonderful, but we usually start Kevin the 8th of February or something like that. We had a deal come in about the sixth or seventh, dumped about 14, 16 inches of snow on us and blowing, and it was drifting. I was feeding with a 95 Chevy 1-ton dually, and the front end on that thing would ground out. It was a 4-wheel drive, but they're real short. And I'd drive through the pasture trying to get to where the cows were, and I'd get stuck pushing snow up from me. So I'd back up, turn around, and go that way as far as I could. And by the time I got 2 bales of hay put out, I couldn't find my tracks to get back out. The wind was blowing so hard, stinking cold, less than 10 degrees. I had a half a dozen baby calves born during that. Never touched one of them.
Right.
We had a couple of them that lost the ends of their ears from frostbite. But when I found them, the cows had them up on the hay that I'd unrolled, and they were cleaned off and had been up nursed. I'm like, that's pretty good cows right there.
Right.
Yeah.
I must have trained them good, with all the cold weather training they'd ever had before.
Sorry, I broke the cardinal rule. I had the other tab still open, but I couldn't find the tab. Kind of like
telling you, technology
is supposed to make it easier, monitor, and guess
usually
where it
makes it harder.
Monitor.
That's a rule I didnn't know. Until you said that, I could have pleaded ignorance. Well, I probably still can.
I know I can.
So how's things over there?
Good. It's all day at work, and then we had to come home, and we loaded up 2 pigs to take them to freezer camp, and got that done before dark, and 2 more or less I have to feed, and so
those go in your freezer or somebody else's?
No, these are both for somebody.
Mm-hmm. Well, the only downside to doing that is that when you take them in, usually you can predict by the date you took them in the number of days until you've got bacon.
That'll be we're taking ours next week, so yeah, I can kind of predict off of that. But
ours are going Thursday.
You got some going Thursday?
Yep.
Yeah.
Them stinking ratchet strap stuff, if you let them set out and get rained on and then they freeze, you just will go buy you some new ones.
You might as well go buy some others.
For a few days. I try to keep the ones we're going to use to tie down logs and tie down lumber in the front of the truck. That way I don't have to wonder if they're getting wet or something.
Yeah.
I don't really like rolling them up after they've been used out in the rain because they can freeze like that.
Yes, they can.
They're a mess.
A big turkey.
That is a big turkey. Jennifer was a big old winner tonight.
Right.
Where'd she win at?
She was over in another time was doing their big giveaway, and Jennifer actually was a multi-winner.
Like
four or five times.
Wow.
I bet those are those like 4-inch wide straps. Those could get frozen enough you could wait a week.
Yeah, I never liked the big 4-inch ones that roll up on underneath the rail. I liked using the 2-inch ones, and we had a box on the front of our gooseneck that we would keep them in so they didn't get super wet.
Yeah, I've used so many.
Our trailer had some that on the rail underneath that you could slide back and forth, but I tried not to use those unless I just had to because they're kind of a pain in the butt.
I use a lot of those 2-inch ones, and I actually have some that are inbred, but y'all probably going to call me a liar on this one. My neighbor over here, his name was Charlie Beck. When he passed away, they had an auction and sold all of his stuff out of his shop, and there was a pair of 2-inch ratchets with straps, and they were long, but instead of having a sewed mark down both edges of them, they just had one in the middle. And it didn't have rod hooks; it had flat J hooks on the ends, on both ends. Still using both of those, and the straps on them still good. But I can't tell you how many of those cheap yellow ones you buy that are 2-inch ones. They used to sell them for $10 at the farm stores. I went through a whole bunch of them, enough that I don't think any of the ratchets that I have are still on the original strap. I mean,
I bought some at a sale one time, and they sold a milk carton full of ratchet straps. Then I get them home and start sorting through them, and they'd cut them all like 4 or 5 foot long. They just cut off the rest of it. They had something specific they were tying down with them.
Right.
So instead of having the full length one, they just had pretty much they were all just scrap metal.
Well, my purchase was in 1998. That's when I bought them at the neighbors. Still using both of them, original straps. They ain't even frayed out.
Yeah, I like the ones with the regular hook on them, but if I get the ones that have the flat J hooks, the first thing I usually do is I'll put a piece of like 3/8 rebar in it and drive over it, so it flattens that J a lot flatter. It goes on the rub rail on the trailer a lot better.
Yep.
But you have to put the rebar in there,
or else it'll flatten it completely.
It'll flatten it way too flat, and then you can't get it on the rub rail.
Yeah.
Johnny,
I knew where Johnny was going with that, saying that he noticed an oil spot underneath the toolbox on his truck that doesn't have an oil leak. I knew where he was going.
My truck don't leak, but I got an oil spot. Crap.
And now he's got oily
but
ratchet straps.
Those ratchet straps will never work smoother ever.
That's right.
Ever.
And every time that you tighten them down, it'll just self oil the trailer.
And the ground and everything you're trying to. I can tell you how to successfully oil those when you don't have any oil. You use the dipstick on your motor. It doesn't take very much, and man, them things will run smooth. They'll work like they're supposed to.
Right.
Had an old boy that had I don't know what they call it. He had to hold a box to his throat to speak, and he was a veteran, and he was out here with his dad that was almost deaf. They had me saw him a bunch of lumber. They was going to build a barn, and his name was Tommy. And they come and got lumber, and I had more sod for them. And they come back, and we loaded it again. And about the third time, he's messing with these little ratchet straps, and he was trying to use the ones that's like inch or inch and a half. And he got so flustered with it, he threw it down on the ground. And he got that box, and he said, "Japanese junk." I said, "Let me help you, Tommy." He said, "Are you Japanese?" I'm like, "No." I've used some of it.
Where he'd had a trach or something, and
yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I don't know why in the picture it looks like I got a big old wad of grease right there. Every time I go looking for that so I can do something about it, cut it out of there, it don't show up in the mirror in the bathroom. Hi, I'm Paul. I was eating something black a while ago and got it in my beard.
Eating licorice.
Is this an exit story? He's gone.
No,
I just got done eating fried cabbage with bacon. Good stuff, Maynard.
Sounds like it.
Lisa can make a mean fried cabbage and bacon. It's good.
Well, you're going to think I'm nuts. One of my favorite things that my mom fixed when I was growing up, she called cabbage casserole, and she would brown up some hamburger in the electric skillet. You know that thing that everybody brags about?
Mm-hmm.
She'd cut up a head of cabbage in slices and lay on top of that browned hamburger, and then she would pour tomato juice on it and pepper the devil out of it and let that steam in that. Oh, that was good. And when she had that fixed, when we came in, everybody was happy.
Oh yeah. And actually, that electric skillet, those work perfect for cooking fried cabbage.
Oh yeah, and then
My-
she never knew when we was going to be in. I mean, it was always after dark. She could just turn it down to warm, and it'd still be just like it was cooked. It was, and that was really good. I really liked that. They called it cabbage casserole. I used to joke a lot, and we never were that kind of poor, really. I would tell people that we were so poor. Sometimes we just had helper, but we almost always had hamburger in it.
Yeah, we've been there, done that.
Yeah. I felt like we were poor because we worked like dogs, but we were never that poor. I never ever remember the electric being shut off. You know, my folks did what they had to do to take care of us. And in case
Tony,
you don't know,
you are not right if you don't like cabbage, fried cabbage. And I like food with results, so I'm with Johnny too. Like I like food in the winter that warms you twice.
food
Warms
with
you while you're
results.
eating, and then warms you for the
Wanda.
rest of the day.
Delayed release.
When Mom was cooking that stuff for us when we come in from the field, I was happy to have it contented to where I was good to sleep all night.
Yep.
Yeah. In case you don't know, my dad lost his job when I was in the 4th grade when B.F. Goodrich closed down in Miami, Oklahoma. And he had always farmed, raised beef cattle, and he had bought a round baler in 1980, 5 years before B.F. Goodrich closed down. And we started custom baling hay for people like full time in 1985. And that was what we did for a living until the year 2000. And it was not uncommon for us to bale between 4,000 and 7,000 round bales, and who knows even how many square bales. He kind of phased that out after a few years, but baled a lot of square bales for other people. Had a lot of small farmers, ranchers that we would bale for that was happy when we came by. A lot of them were heartbroken in the year 2000 when Dad told them that he wasn't going to bale their hay no more because he was hanging it up. But yeah, that's where I come from. And how to tell you we're ever working on one of those things is if in the middle of the summer you go to getting this itch on the back of your neck that don't go away till after frost. That's just
yeah. I used to help a guy that did a lot of custom hand like that. Close friend of mine, it was kind of one of them, like, I think I've told this story that, like, he just needed some help for a weekend, and then pretty soon I was like, hey, I enjoy this. Like, my cell phone don't work. I can go do this, and but we would start baling hay. It seemed like as soon as grass was 4 inches tall. And the one year I quit baling CRP grass that it was coming out and went to Thanksgiving dinner. And I'm like,
I had some people that we were baling for that had growed up a bunch of sage grass on one of their fields, and they called my dad and said, we'd like to bale that again. And he sent me over there to mow it, and I had to go home and get my coveralls because I was freezing. And I got to looking while I was doing this, and it wasn't the sage grass. All the fluff had blowed off it. It was actually snowing on me. And when I got done, they said, that's good. And they paid us for mowing it. They didn't even want it baled after that. So
really?
But my dad had this thing in his mind that he would like to, and it was one of those, I'm sure it was one of those, if I could do this much, click, we'd do all right. In his mind, he would like to bale 100 round bales in a day, every day. And so he spent most of the time mad at me because I couldn't get that much mowed some places,
So that was a goal that we had too, was
100 round bales.
100 bales in one day,
And back then, I think he was getting $8.
Oh my goodness gracious.
$8 a bale.
Oh no.
And
I think
now
we were up to 30.
Yeah.
I think
Neighbor
when I quit helping my friend, I think we were
What were they
$30 or
talking about?
$32 to mow, rake, and bale.
Neighbor of mine over here told me he had to pay $32 to get his done this year. I don't want any of it. I've had
And
enough of it.
he finally
I'm
got
happy
to
to
the
get my own
point.
done.
He finally got to the point that he kept raising it because he didn't want to keep working that. I mean, like literally, that was how he started weeding people out. You know.
That's a good one right there, Muddy Acres. For $2.65 an hour and a ham sandwich.
Yep. And
I went to the sale barn today, and I go in there, and they got started.
Wild man.
And I go down there and look, and there is a friend of mine, Jeff Reynolds, down there running the ring. And I'm like, he's not a stockyards guy. I wonder what in the world's up. So I went down there to talk to him. Jeff Reynolds used to work for the outfit that pulls wells and fixes your water well pump around here. And he'd done that for a long time. And I knew he always had cattle. His family farmed some. And so I went down and talked to him. I said, is this what you're doing in your retirement? He said, I did retire. I ain't going to pull no more wells. And I told him I could come over here and help them for a day. I knew they short on help. And then I was talking with the owner of the place. His name's Dale as well. And Dale says, yeah, but he only lets us pay him in hamburgers.
Pay him in hamburgers?
I'm like, yeah, change his name to Wimpy.
Yeah, Wimpy.
Hello, Trey.
How are y'all?
How'd things go? How long did you go on the live last night?
Hour and 22 minutes, I believe.
You want me to play that?
You went on after I left. You kept going.
Just for a few minutes. It was an hour and 22 minutes. So,
well, I guess I told on myself. I didn't go back and look, but I can play that for you again if you'd like.
Johnny, you need to take care of that guy who's only charging you $22 a bale to mow, rake, and bale.
Here's what he said.
It's going to be about an hour.
About.
We're going.
It's going to be about an hour.
But he didn't know that I was coming on. So that's why he got to talking and it got to be longer.
Did you just blame that on you?
Yeah, I did. Sure did.
I knew that I only needed to be on there about an hour. I was pretty tired.
Hey, Heather. Chris. Oh, man. Yeah.
I did something you're going to like today, though, Trey. You should go look on my latest video.
What's that? Yeah, I haven't done much. I got home. I did get home right at dark, and I got the cows fed, and then I had to help Daddy and them load up some yearlings. They hauled some yearlings.
He can't help but say that, Dale.
Yearlings. So
they said that a couple times.
I don't razz him about yearlings. He don't razz me about Missouri.
Yeah.
Right. They said that a couple times in stockyards today, and you know what I thought? That's about how trades say that.
That's it. So then my cows back here was out of hay, so I had to get hay put out. And anyway,
got good lights on your tractor?
No. I said that I did a short that I'll put it out in the morning. That's what I said. I need somebody to sponsor me some lights. I got one headlight on the cab. That's the only one working besides the one front. So I need some headlights.
I want to tell you, it's cheaper than you think to fix you up some LED lights on a tractor. I bought a whole bunch of, they were either 6 or 7 inch light bars is what they called them. They just have one row of LED lights in them, and they're not very weatherproof. So if you can kind of put them back in and under, you're better off. And I haven't bought any lately, but when I bought all those a couple years ago, they were only like $6 a piece.
I had to put them on the rollover bar on ours because the backup lights are these little tiny, 1 inch square nothing that you can't see crap back there when you're backing up or anything else. So it's like I went and got, I don't know, it's probably 8 or 10 inch light bar, from Temu or some Amazon or I can't remember.
I wired
it in there and just faced it that way and wired it in. I'm like, it's great. It's amazing.
Yep. I can tell you what you don't want to do. You don't want to go to Kubota and buy the Kubota LED kit.
Yeah.
You might as well buy a new tractor.
That's what they want you to do.
I guarantee you.
Does the new one have LED lights? I can hear
it. Yeah.
No, them the little bitty light bars like I'm talking about, most of them only have one bolt to bolt them down or something.
Yeah. And since you said that, I think I've seen them at like Tractor Supply and stuff. They have those little displays set up. I could do that and it would look normal because I need all of them but one on the tractor. The two outside ones on the cab ain't even there no more. They've been broke off.
Yeah.
Ray,
goodness gracious.
Chris has got you something down there. He's got two of them.
Two police light bars.
You need to put one on your tractor and one on your Ranger. That'd be hilarious. Going through the field, just woo, woo, woo. Yep.
Yeah.
They're bright.
Yeah.
Oklahoma Highway Patrol has apparently gotten on to all of their special people who do recovery on the roads. And I know on the turnpikes it's this way. You have to have the flashing red and blue, or else you can't service stuff along I-44. They won't let you on to go service it without paying.
Really?
And a friend of mine's got a mobile tire service, and so he had to outfit his truck with the flashing red and blue lights.
That would be good too.
Yeah, look at Johnny go.
Yeah.
Johnny wants to put one on his GTO.
I would drive up there to Chris and pick one up and drive it to Johnny.
Just flip that on.
Right.
That would be hilarious. Chris, we might be heading up there this weekend to pick that up and take it to Johnny. That would be hilarious. I would drive up there to pick that up and take it straight to Johnny.
What good would that really do on the GTO? Because there would never be anybody that's seen it behind them. Because he's gonna be out in front of everybody.
You'd have to. Well, they're 360. You see it both. What you see it,
He said I would do it.
Well, I ain't working this weekend, so I might be driving this weekend.
We're the same way, Belt Loop 29. You can't have blue on your vehicle in Louisiana.
Well, yeah, most places you can't have, and you can't have red if it flashes.
Well, we can have red. We can have red, and we can have white strobes, but we can't have anything blue.
You can as a volunteer firefighter in this part of Kansas. I can tell you that.
Well, yeah.
You can.
I mean, if you got the credentials, then you can. But just everybody else.
Yeah.
Good night, Muddy Acres.
I mean, it's never stopped. Ain't nothing illegal till you get caught.
That's right.
Skittles and glitter.
Skittles and glitter.
Hey, Raider, that just means it's for all. You put a little sticker on it that says for off-road use only, and you're covered. Not like Judgment Day goes down the main street in Tahlequah anyway.
You want to really insult Johnny? Take him a SU or a slow-moving vehicle sign.
Put one of those triangles.
Yeah, put on the back.
Really right. It'd be all right. I can have them lights on here because I got this slow-moving vehicle sign on my race car.
Yeah, Johnny's got a horsepower in a bottle add-on. I have a bunch more horsepower in a blue bottle. And it's not an energy drink. But it's named the same thing.
Yeah. Hey, wait a minute. How aerodynamic are them lights? You gonna put them in the cab?
I don't think Judgment Day would even care.
I'm positive that car.
I mean,
he needs something to slow him down on that reaction time.
Those lights, Judgment Day can handle.
I was gonna say he needs a little something to slow him down because he goes so fast he beats the starting light a lot of times.
Yeah, right. He was saying the other day he had to let off once he got past him, and because he was doing brackets, so he had to like catch people because they made him wait. And after he passed them, he had to let off because he didn't want to break out because he was too fast.
that bracket racing, that's kind of what I'm interested in.
That's crazy. He actually drives it like around. I just.
I was gonna say it's tagged. It's a street car.
I know.
Legal.
I know it is, but you just with something that fast, you just don't think of just driving it to Sonic to pick up a burger. It's just it doesn't compute in my brain. Like, oh, I'm gonna take go get a Slurpee.
Our neighbor right here, you ought to see the cars that they do. They've got the 20-something horsepower supercharged or whatever, and they're all street legal. And they pierce enough black marks up here by the road, and they test them. They got all their dynos, and they dyno. It's we get plenty of that, and like I said, pretty much every one of them is street legal. He's got people that brings them from Florida. It's cars from all over up here.
Yeah, I appreciate that. A new video just come out today on the channel, so I'm trying.
Well, I hope starting Thursday night, I get to start watching some YouTube.
Cruise Town one time, put some more fuel in it. Cruise Town one.
Yeah, I was gonna say because that thing has to be topped off fuel after one trip down the track. So
you gotta get more.
Need a bigger tank. You're gonna ride around town.
Yeah, if you're gonna cruise Maine, you're gonna have to put a bigger tank in the back of it or something.
Just get you a trailer tank. That way you can pull it around with you.
Yeah.
Yes, Serena, it will kill them. You definitely want to keep them. You want to keep the roots from freezing, Serena.
Looky there.
Thanks, Evan.
Yeah. I was watching Johnny's videos today. I was watching Dale's. I watched.
Amy's feeling better. She's back watching videos.
I am
she's behind too.
I am very behind. You know, when you take a rest, it's so hard to catch up.
Yeah.
It is really hard to catch up. But
what I really hate
multiple devices going.
I really hate when I've watched them, but I didn't watch them. I don't know if anybody else does this. The ones I want to watch, I know YouTube put up for me. And so I get it started and I lay down on the couch. And then when I wake up, I'm like, oh, what did I miss? And so I remember seeing the thumbnail and the deal for a video, and that was really interesting to me. And then I go back and I finally find it, and it says, I watched it already.
Yeah.
I didn't remember any of it.
You slept right through.
Yep, because it keeps generating another video.
I have to go back and go through my history to find out what I missed. You know,
I didn't watch it. Well, maybe I did.
Yep.
That happened to me. Actually, I didn't fall asleep. I had it playing. Somebody showed up, so I went outside, and it just stayed playing for
kept going
a couple hours. And it played these channels that I don't care. I don't want nothing to do with. I had to go in and clean out the history because it was playing stuff that I don't want to see, like garbage. Let
me tell you the weirdest thing about mine with that, and I don't understand unless it happened. If I go to sleep, if I wake up, it's a freaking weird cartoon playing.
Yeah.
And I do not understand. And I guess maybe I went to sleep one time and a couple of them played, and maybe it's something to do with the history. But it just seems like now that's what comes on. It's thinking, and I had never watched one of them things. Rex run red and blue lights.
Oh, Serena's in Oklahoma.
Sounds like he's voice texting or something, doesn't it, Dan?
Yeah, I'm lost.
Is your auto correct or spell check working correctly? That's all right.
I know. Yeah, Johnny. I agree. You don't ever go off and leave YouTube running, because then it will suggest some stupid thing that you don't want to watch.
And then if you think you
once
watched
lets
it,
that
then
play
it'll
one
bring
time,
all
then
of
the
that.
algorithm just
That,
keeps
and that had
shoving
to
those
be
types.
what happened with that stupid cartoon stuff. I have no, and it's not. I mean, it's weird cartoons. I mean, I'm like,
Oh,
Well, if you can't correct that by anything else, you can correct it by making it run stuff you like. And here's what I do. We don't lock our doors, so if somebody's going to break in my house, they're going to have to listen to some Charles Stanley or to Adrian
there
Rogers
you
for a little bit
go.
because it's running on my computer. And I've got a playlist of contemporary Christian music. And when I start that, it's weird. When I start that one, it'll play to a certain point and then it stops. But on the preaching videos, it never does that. I can be gone for 6 hours and I'll come back in and it's still playing one of them, but I don't have a cue for those. It just I start that and so it recommends another one and it plays that. And
hey Scott,
Yeah, YouTube Music. I have it on my phone. Like when we go to bed on the nightstand, I'll put it on a song for it to play. You know, on a playlist. And I've noticed if you do that, it only plays like 4 songs, and then we noticed that you have not interacted.
yeah, something like that. I get that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Push any button to continue.
yeah. Are you still watching?
But I wasn't
Yeah.
here.
Yes, I am.
No, actually, I was asleep, but I want the music playing.
But I still.
But if there was someone watching, I'd want them to hear that music.
Yeah.
There's a guy at work that said he was watching a documentary about like WW2, and he got into a rabbit hole of watching WW2 like D-Day stuff and all this other good crap. And then like a week later, he was scrolling through his YouTube, and all of a sudden it was just Nazi this and Nazi this and Nazi this. He's like, oh crap, YouTube thinks I'm a racist. It's like, well. He's like, I was just looking at a nice documentary about WW2, and all of a sudden now every video like suggestion that comes at me is swastikas on it and stuff. I'm like, well, yeah, that could be a problem.
That could be a problem.
I'm not racist at all. I'm just convinced that we're all a bunch of sinners, and some of us just get to go to heaven because we believe in the right thing.
Amen.
That'll probably get us all kicked off YouTube before long.
I was going to say, I didn't catch I caught something in the chat that Sergeant's Talk got shut down.
Yeah, their live got shut down. It kicked to a black screen. It says stream interrupted.
Something about violations or something.
For policy violations, and they were off for probably 5 minutes or so, and then came back on. The chat never stopped. Everybody was talking in the chat, and then all of a sudden they came back on.
That's what happened to me. That's what happened to us that one night on Chilling with the Gillums. Yep. And we hadn't even got on the screen yet.
They've been on here for a while talking about they were, I don't know exactly what they were saying because I have it turned way down. But their point of tonight was the new Secretary of Defense. And they were playing a clip, and maybe that's might have been what it was. I don't know if it's something they said or if they were saying
there was definitely some things said.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
Oh.
He said, "Did they? Not they did."
Did they?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know. But it shut them down for probably 5 minutes or so.
Yeah, and then they popped back on.
And then they came back.
Hey Dan, I know what you mean. When those guys are running their red and blue lights, I almost need my shades because I wear my sunglasses.
Well, they have to keep getting brighter and brighter and louder because nobody pulls over anymore.
Yeah, that's true.
It gets on my nerves. I'll be driving down the road and fire truck or something coming the other direction and everybody's just driving along like normal. It's like, it's aggravating.
Okay, so up here, everybody pretty much does that. But here's one thing that happens here, and we talked about this before, I think, but Brayton, our Rooster's girlfriend, is from Virginia. And it blew her mind. We had, a funeral. It just blows her mind back here that when a funeral procession goes by that people pull over. She's like, what is that? I've never seen that before. Like Braden got on to her because they were riding together and she didn't pull over when a funeral went by. And she's like, what do you mean you pull over for a funeral going by? And I'm like, doesn't everybody do that?
Right.
It's a respect thing that you might not see as much on the coast.
And we take our hat off as they go by, and
Yep.
But I think it was Lori, because I think we were talking about that online. And was it Lori at Prepping for Heaven or somebody like that said it's against the law in their state to do that? Like, you cannot pull over for it.
Really?
Oh
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I'd be a lawbreaker.
Oh, no, it wasn't Lori then. I don't remember who it was that said that then. But it was somebody up in the East that said, no, you cannot do that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, several years ago, it used to be the thing for all those funeral processions to run their headlights on the cars that were in it.
We do.
And
Here.
now we've got so many cars that have headlights that are on all the time anyway. That don't work. So they tell you to run your flashers.
Right.
And so I haven't figured out yet how to get that flasher fluid to even out with my blinker fluid and my washer fluid and my brake fluid.
Can I eat it?
You guys got any, tips on how to get that to even back out?
I don't know.
Well, first you got to get your alternator fluid level right, and it'll fix it.
Crap. I don't even know where you check that. I got my dad really good one day, and he got me back. We had a bunch of old 2-ton trucks we were using to fetch wood shavings to use for bedding in our chicken houses. And they had like 15, 16-foot bed and hoist on them. We'd put 6-foot sides on them because the stuff was really light. And we had one, it was a 61 International. It had no power steering. And, of course, every time you went to get in one of them, you checked everything out under the hood, especially the brake fluid. And he was under the hood of that one, checking it all out, getting ready. And I said, "You check the power steering fluid?" And he said, "Where's it at?" I went to looking. And I'm like, "It done got it." So the next day.
Yeah, Lori, that is something else we do now is most people turn on their flashers if they're part of the funeral.
Next day,
Well, they ask us to here, like, if you have a funeral.
Yeah.
Most of them, I guess that's maybe the way they keep up with who's in line.
And I am with Johnny. I have been known to do that before. Run right down the middle of the road so that the people behind you cannot pass. Like,
Don't tell me you're not going to say hi to Jan.
Hi, Jan.
So the next day, how my dad got back at me, we was going to be in the building spreading sawdust with a little manure spreader along the wall. I was driving it, and he was loading it every time I come out of the building, and I had it on a little WD Alice Chalmers tractor, just ducking over, trying to keep from hitting the trusses when you go by. And I don't know. We'd been working at this 5 or 6 hours, and I get off the tractor because I had to relieve myself by the back tire on the side away from where he's loading it at. I get back on the tractor. And he says, "That thing's leaking something." That was all he said. I'm like, "Where? Where?" I got off the tractor and walked around. And he said, "Right there in front of the tire. You can see it on the ground." I'm like, I'd been got,
Yeah. He's saying happy belated birthday, baby.
Oh, thanks.
BG.
I got Maribel one time at like a Advanced Auto Parts or something like that. And we were in her car, and she needed something. I can't remember what it was. I was like, "Hey, listen, this is your car. You have to go in there and ask them for it." So I sent her in there, and I had her ask them for blinker fluid. And I just sat in the car. I was like, I'm not even going in there with you. You have a car now. You have to do it. I mean, you need to learn this stuff because it's your car. And she goes inside and comes back out, and she's like, "Dad, they were laughing at me like I was stupid or something." I was like, "Well, they might have a point."
Have you seen the parts houses that have a little thing on their
Yeah,
counter?
now they have one. Like
fluid now.
Blinker fluid. They also got one that says like soapy water, and it's WADER or something. It's ridiculous.
Well, I knew some guys that worked at the CFI truck shop up here in Joplin, and they would always mess with the new help that came in there, and they would send them to like Kenworth or somewhere and asking for an axle adjuster. And they would send them over there. And the guys at Kenworth would say, "We just sold the last one yesterday, and we haven't got new ones in yet. You'll have to go out to Peterbilt." So the guy, this is like a 20-mile circle they wind up driving, and the last place they get to, the guy says, "Oh yeah, we got one of them," and he hands them a jack handle.
Well, my little brother works for the city, and they had a guy come in there and working on the road crew, like doing the pothole repair where they put that little patch crap and then they have to go around and tamp it and whatnot. And he's like, "Well, this one, the mix is too wet. We can't get it to set up. Like, we'll have to get something." And so the new guy, they sent him back to the truck to get, he's like, "Go get a 5-gallon bucket of AIR. It'll fix it." So he goes back. He's like, "I can't find it. There's nothing in there." So he's like, "Well, go ask the supervisor or whatever." And he sent him like 4 different people. And he's like, "Listen, AIR is air."
Air. Changing out the air.
And we actually have a duck stretcher at work for like square duck. And it's a real thing. It stretches it. It doesn't stretch the duck, but it pulls it together so we can put the little piece on that holds them together. And every new guy ever, when we send him to go get the duck stretcher, he looks at it like we're sending him on a wild goose chase because like you got board stretcher and all, you know. I was like,
Because
no,
some
really.
shop teacher sent him after a board stretcher.
Somebody sent him after a board stretcher. I was like, no, it's really a thing. In fact, I'll go get it and show you because I'm not playing with you. It's a real thing.
If I'm lying, I'm dying. I have people that will bring me a log that is 12 inches across at the most and want the whole thing made in 2x12s. And I'm like,
how?
Sorry, my log stretcher is broke.
Right.
And they look at me like I'm stupid, you know.
Well,
it could be kind of like the little blonde gal that went into the auto parts store and said she needed something to put underneath of her 710 cap, right, Trey?
Mm-hmm. That's right. That is right.
You know, Amy, do you know where the 710 cap is?
About that 710 there.
What would you put under a 710 cap? Maybe
Earl.
Oil.
you had Amy there.
She wouldn't because she's never going to look underneath the hood of her car. If she opens that hood, she might as well be peeking down into the human brain. She's going to have me do it.
Look, let me tell you about this today before I left work. I was 30 minutes late leaving work what I was supposed to be a day because we got on the conversation. We have some guys on the flat earth, round earth conversation. And you talk about interesting. Oh boy. It got all biblical and everything else in the situation. I just sit back and watched them. They was over there drawing their ideas, how it works and why it's flat and why it's round. And
I have something to say on that very topic. When a person grabs a hold of some little bitty something and makes that the reason that they can't believe the Bible, that's messed up.
Yeah,
it's messed up. They're holding back a blessing with unbelief. That's like
they were saying that if you go by the Bible, it's flat.
Really?
That's all they had. Oh, it was. I just sit in the corner and just got tickled.
Do you work with intelligent life forms? Obviously not.
Yeah. I think they've
one that got started was he's a Nigerian, and it for one, it's just fun messing with him. We give him a hard time, but anyway, that's where it all started. But it got very interesting today. Very, very interesting.
Oh boy, we really went full circle here, y'all.
Yep.
We have. I've even heard from the other room since you started this flat Earth stuff. And the term was flat-headed.
I got some oceanfront property in Kansas. I'll sell you if you believe that crap.
That's right.
Yeah, that's like trying to dam up the Mississippi River by thinking about it. It ain't gonna work. Yeah. Now Lori wants to know chapter and verse. She's going to become one of these.
I'm gonna look it up.
Oh, it got into the four corners, and I mean, it was.
Last time I was flat-headed was in May of 1992, and I took that cap off and throwed it and never looked back.
Yep.
Is it? I want to tell you something about the earth here where I live at the edge of the Ozarks. There ain't nothing flat.
There ain't nothing.
Even
I can tell you out in western Kansas that they say is flat.
Mm-hmm.
I hate to tell y'all, but it ain't flat either.
There was a guy.
It gradually rises. It's at an angle all the way to the Rockies.
It slopes up. And there's a guy that teaches creationism, which is what the Bible teaches, named Eric Hovind. He's been to our summer camp before and preached our summer camp. Really interesting guy. He always had a lot to say. And his dad taught him a lot of what he knows about it. I can't remember his dad's name, but his last name's obviously Hovind. But he was saying, teaching stuff at our summer camp that really resonated with me and both of my boys because we had been to see the Grand Canyon the summer that he was there. And anybody that don't know, the Grand Canyon was formed during the Great Flood. And it's the drain. It's the drain. Ain't hard to tell it's the drain. And in the middle of doing that, he went into a town where they had a huge rain, and it had washed out some of their streets. There was a place where the street was completely missing. There's a 6-foot hole. And he went and interviewed some people. He said, do you think that this was caused by a lot of water over a short period of time or a little water for a long period of time? And some of them said a little water by a long period of time, even though they lived there and had seen it get washed away.
Jeez.
In a weekend.
They didn't ever get over being flat-headed.
No. They're still there.
Yeah. Yep.
Look, you didn't even have to leave work to hear this conversation, Trey.
Right.
It's done started here now.
Yeah,
Right.
Trey, now you started it up here, Trey.
Look what old Dakota says. He said, I don't know if he even cares.
Right.
What you think? He made it. Now, when I read that, it says he made it and he flung the stars into space. That kind of makes me think that is more like a ball than a frisbee. I don't know. Just me.
One of them was asking if you go straight, if you go north, and you keep going north. If you get to the North Pole, are you still going north? If you just keep going straight.
There's a biblical aspect to that too. In the Bible, it says, when he forgives our sins, he puts them as far away from us as the east is from the west. And if you do go north far enough, you'll eventually be going south. But you cannot go east far enough, you'll be going west.
Yeah, because the west is always going to be the other way. The north and south poles do that thing where you get far enough it switches, but east and west never does. It just keeps going round and round and round.
Mm-hmm. You can't get back there.
Can't get back there.
Can't get back to. You can't get east from going west.
You can't get there from him.
Now I know that very well. And GPS is a liar in some situations.
Yeah, it is.
It'll take you down a pig trail. It ain't no wonder them Swift drivers can't find where they're going. You know what SWIFT stands for, right?
I don't
Come
know
on.
about. I don't,
Sure wish I'd finished training.
Yep. Come on with it one time.
Oh,
Thanks, Wanda.
Mm-hmm.
Brake fluid for a boat. Yeah, Dan, well, I've rode a lot of boats and never seen one with a brake pedal.
no, Karma. I hadn't talked to Chris. The last couple of days we've been really busy, so I hadn't really talked to anybody or been on anything really. All I've went on and done is responded to comments, and that was just late this evening.
And he was on live last night for about an hour and 20 minutes.
An hour and 20 minutes, yeah.
Hour and 20
Which was
minutes.
very short. Kind of like, hey, tonight's going to be short. I got to get up early in the morning. I got to go get my last round of these injections in the morning.
Yep. Think they're helping?
I do. Something's helping. I mean, it could be the cortisone, because the cortisone shot's still kind of in effect. It hadn't been long enough for it to wear off, but it feels a lot better. It really does. So I'm gonna go do it. I told work today we need to take some. We have 2 of those big 1-inch drive
Night, Teresa.
torque wrenches. Air operated torque wrenches. We was trying to torque some stuff down today, and both of them seem to be messed up since last time we used them. So I'm gonna let work pay me to go to the doctor tomorrow and go swap them out while we're in Shreveport. Still the way missed flat earth, round earth. You didn't miss nothing.
Oh, yeah, Greg. We're solving the world's problems that the world didn't even know it had. I don't know. I bet if you threw one of them out and it caught something, you'd stop fast.
Went down the drag car, rabbit hole on YouTube, and it led me to drag jet boats. You want to talk about something that you just kind of wonder, like, these old cats, like, exactly how unwired you got to be. Because, on this drag boat deal, they do it in a lake, in a man-made lake, more or less a pond. And in a boat, there ain't no hitting the brakes when you come to the other end.
Mm-mm.
Like, at some point, you're going to hit ground.
Right. My dad had a buddy that had one that it was one of those twin V 300. Had a Chevy 350 on the back of it, and it had the little port that covered it up to turn it, like, basically reverse was just a lever you flip down over the jet. It was a jet boat, and he wanted to see how fast it went. So my dad had a pocket GPS back years ago before all of our phones did it and our smartwatches did it and all that stuff. So he took his little pocket GPS out there because he could do GPS, could tell him his miles per hour without having to be hooked to a wheel. So that's perfect for the boat. And we were doing like 90 something across the water, and it was like 19-foot long boat. And he had one of those hippie pedals on it, like the hippie barefoot pedal on the go pedal, and it had no other pedals. And it was weird because it was like I said, it was years ago, so I didn't know a whole lot about all this. And I looked, I was like, where's the rest of the pedals?
I've never been.
You only need one. Go and don't go. So
I've been about 60.
The weird part about it is when he romped on it, you go from like looking across the lake to looking at clouds because it stands up and you don't even know where you're going, and you have very little control over it.
Yep.
It's not a good feeling.
To go 90-something mile an hour on a boat.
Are those boats that when they video them from the side, you see the boat plumb up out of the water and just
it's just riding on the back. It was 19 foot long, and we were probably riding on the back, foot and a half of that boat.
And the part that just makes me like cringe when I watch that stuff is them ones that you'll be watching them go along there, and they're just hauling in the mail, and pretty soon they go.
Yeah.
And then you're like strapped in there in a 5-point harness, You only got one thing. You better be good at
Look,
getting out of it because you're
anything
like,
that I have to get in to race that I have to put a respirator on, I'm out. I'm not getting in something where I gotta, in case I go underwater, I gotta have air. Mm-mm.
Wow, I didn't know that could be a problem.
You mean you can't breathe underwater without help? Come on.
Oh, I'm just saying, I'm not
Do
getting
it.
in.
I mean, come on. How hard can it be?
Nope, I'm out.
They don't have very big brain.
Wow.
Wow.
oh,
Yeah, his
see,
jet
I'm
boat,
out.
he had the same thing. The steering wheel was on the same side as the car.
I've been involved in too many like near rollovers and boats and stuff from just some random rogue wake coming through there that somebody did at the other end down there. I ain't doing that. I ain't doing it.
This guy had to go out into the lake a little bit before he could even fire the boat up because there's no neutral, there's no clutch. It's just the motor hooked to the impeller on the jet. So once you fire it up, you're moving.
Just like Forrest Gump. And I was running.
I was running.
We had to push it out.
No reason whatsoever.
Cruise out there for a little bit before he even fired it up. And the only way to not just keep moving is you had to like flip it back down and make it push the jet around that little curve and push backwards. So then you're like, you're moving this way or you're moving that way, but you're never sitting still.
Well, and that was
weird.
So what it led me to was that Finnegan, Mike Finnegan, that used to be on what was that show? Roadkill. He races jet boats, and you know how they get them out there is they hook a jet ski to the front of them and tow them out there, and they have a rope that all these guys are holding on to until it's their turn to run. Then they let go of the rope and they fire it up, like you say, because it only has one connection.
Yeah, on or not.
And then they're gone. And then they shut it off.
That's kind of how I am in the morning. Except sometimes it happens at 7:15, sometimes it happens at 7, sometimes it happens at 8. Sometimes it ain't till 7:45, but you know, once I get 2 or 3 cuts on this, and
time out. Belt loop, Gary. You have a friend in Mississippi named Michael Finnegan? I don't know about that. You're going to have to prove that to me there. You telling me a story? Look at Johnny. Yep, we had a rope to hold on to.
That must be cars.
Yep, old cars.
Yeah.
Is it the same guy? Probably is.
Yep.
It's a small world.
Uh-huh.
And apparently a flat one.
Here we go again.
I went to the sale barn and sat down in there, and it wasn't just a little bit. And the guy come in that I knew. He had been the VOAG teacher at Miami when I was in school. Told me he taught VOAG at Miami High School for 39 years. And his family is the ones that started a sale barn in Welch. And me and him talked for a little bit. And he went to telling me all these things. I've got most of my cattle are limousine influence. Mm-hmm. And we went to tell me all these things. And then he said, what are you doing nowadays with limousine cattle? And I said, I'm still breeding them to things, hoping I can get a decent calf. And he's like, well, this is what I do with mine. And he outlines the whole thing for me, just like a typical VOAG teacher. And I didn't have nothing to take notes with. And then another guy comes in there and sits down. His name's Ernie Tullis. Ernie has a big ranch there between Chatopa, Kansas and Welch, Oklahoma. called Tullus Limousine. You know what he's doing with his limousine cows? Breeding them with red Angus bulls.
Yep.
So that he can breed.
Trying to get that double muscling out of them. That round
get the stuff out of the limousine that we worked for 30 years to breed into them, because now they're saying they're too big. They finished too big.
That's right, Johnny. It's called, that 55 Chevy he races called Blasphemy, and Johnny just put it in there because it has a Hemi in it. Instead of a Chevy engine, it's got a Hemi.
Blasphemy. Well, if you took a Chevy and put a Hemi in it, probably fixed it.
It's pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty cool.
I'm a Ford guy, so I don't even care. But I don't like Chevys enough that a Hemi would fix a Chevy, but it's still not a Ford.
It's got an 1070 blower on top of that Hemi, so it's a fully blown Hemi in a 55 Chevy. It's pretty cool.
There was a farmer I used to bale straw off from who had put a V8 Hemi in an M Farmall.
Mm-hmm.
That tractor would go 35 miles an hour down the road.
He said Ford. Jennifer.
Yeah.
That's so funny story. The German Baptist Mennonites are north of me. Of course, they only drive tractors. Mm-hmm. So they got this bright idea because a lot of them use pickup trailers to haul their family and stuff around in behind this tractor. Well, these kiddos got this bright idea. They built them a drive shaft to go from that rear end on that truck bed trailer to the PTO shaft on the tractor.
Push the tractor.
Does anybody know the only problem with that?
With what?
Turn around.
Running a PTO shaft back to the rear axle on that trailer.
Yeah.
The PTO shaft turns opposite direction. Mm-hmm. So they had to set them a pulley situation up to turn it the right direction. But they get going down the road. These are high school boys, or high school aged Amish Mennonite boys. They decided to turn it on while they're going down the road and kick the tractor in neutral. And then they could go like the wind bullseye. There's only one problem. Tractor brakes are about as good as throwing a rock out the window tied to a piece of twine to stop your half-ton pickup. It ain't stopping it.
There's a pretty good-sized Mennonite group somewhere around Pryor, because when we go to JL's, sometimes there'll be some of them going in there to eat, and they drive tractors. And we watched, last time Anita and I went on our own, we watched a Mennonite family, get on a Massey Ferguson tractor that had a heater cab and an umbrella. I mean, they were fancy. It looked like a clown car situation. They had 6 of them got on that thing.
Yep.
That was their wheels.
So Dakota, a few of them drive Masseys. More of them now drive those 5000 series John Deeres. I see way more of those. They used to drive those super M Farmalls and H Farmalls because M&W made a 9-speed to go in them with an overdrive that would go pretty fast.
I don't think it was as much down there. The reason they drove that was because there was a Massey dealer at Pryor.
Yeah.
Yeah, they could get them bought.
Now you go up by Lawrence, and there's a lot of them up there. They run Massey because there was a Mennonite that owned the Massey Ferguson dealership up there, kind of the same way, Yeah. So.
I don't even know what a PTO is. PTO stands for power takeoff.
Power takeoff.
That comes out the back of a tractor that you can use to run implements like hay balers and mowers and whatnot. And it's a wonderful thing. PTO is. It does not mean personal time off unless you use the PTO incorrectly.
Yeah. PTO can lead to PTO.
Yeah, I guess you could say that.
Johnny, that sounds drastically scary.
Hi, Sean.
3 reverse gears sounds definitely scary.
My son bought a forklift called a Liftall. It has a little Perkins 4-cylinder Perkins diesel in it, and it's supposed to pick up 8,000 pounds. It has a 2-ton truck, one of those old one that had the Dayton clamp-on wheels for a front axle, and it has a forward reverse gearbox and a 4-speed. And in low gear in the 4-speed is too fast for running around the yard sometimes. I don't think he's ever had it in 4th. In 3rd, going down the road, he can go like between 25 and 30 on a forklift. On a 20,000 pound forklift.
No.
And
No,
even
you get-
in 4th gear.
You get you a little slack in the rear end, like our forklifts around here. Look, you don't want to go 5 mile an hour. You can barely hold it in the road.
Yeah.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah, we had I'm trying to remember the name of that, but it was like silver at one of the dealerships I worked at. And of course, the engine that was in it had went bad when they bought it. And it was kind of like a wheel loader on the front end, but we had it as a forklift, and it had big tires, tractor style tires on the front and like a cast iron steering axle.
Yeah.
But they'd repowered it with a Chevy Vortec and a 350 turbo.
You might belt loop.
And
Night.
yeah. So we had it set up that, you could only go from like reverse, neutral, and like locked out first gear like that. It wouldn't let you drop it into the like drive in that 350 turbo. Well, we had to take it across town, and me and one of the other mechanics, we decided it was going to take us way too long to get across town in first gear.
Right.
So we get underneath there and we pull, we readjust so we can get into drive. And he takes out of the driveway and he mashes down on that little V6 Vortec and that thing. And pretty soon 4-lane road, he goes from this lane all the way across 4 lanes to the other side, because that thing was like trying to steer, cats, herding a cat. It was just all over the place. You couldn't keep it on the road.
I've heard about deals like that. We had a dump truck that my dad had made all the steering for out of wore out parts from his 4-wheel drive pickup. And it was a 50 Chevy running gear, 2-ton. And we cut the frame and married it to a 3/4 ton 63 Chevy cab and put a 327 V8 my cousin come up with in it. Never had exhaust thing. I always start, except when it caught on fire. And that old truck, the steering on it was all jacked up because there wasn't room enough underneath of that on the frame for those 20-inch tires to turn. They'd rub against the steering box when you turn to the right. But you could turn to the left really good. So we called it, oh, by the way, its name was 2-Ton Tony.
2-Ton Tony.
And it had a rock bed on it, dump bed. And we called it Directionally Challenged. And my dad actually figured out how long one of his good welds would last on some of the parts he manufactured out of used 4-wheel drive pickup steering parts when it came apart and steered him into a tree while he was driving it down the road. And it was actually happened just about a 1/4 mile down the road from the house. And he had my tractor down there in the road with the front end of it picked up, his pickup sitting next to it where he'd hauled the oxygen acetylene torch down there so he could weld the pieces back together and limp it home from where he'd run into the tree in the middle of the road. Directionally challenged. If you can help it, you don't want to have a vehicle that's directionally challenged. But
You know, like a Dodge 3/4 ton first gen Dodge diesel that like you hit ditch to ditch, you don't drive it down the road, you catch it. Right?
Well, let me tell you what, Dale, having a vehicle like that's bad if your vehicle's directionally challenged, but if your life is directionally challenged, can have disastrous results.
Amen.
Make sure you're headed to the right place. It's real easy to find out how to get on the right path. And if you ever want to know, you can email me at casesawmill@gmail.com. That's the real one.
That's the real one.
That's the real one. That's the real one. How long ago did I miss that? Oh, yeah, that was my joke. See you later. Y'all have a good night.
Night.
See me.
Hi. Yeah. I wish I could remember my papa's story of his cotton picker. He drove a cotton picker in Arizona back when it was a 2-row cotton picker, when it was the single wheel. And I don't know the whole story, but he headed down some big hill over there and the brakes all went out. He said he'll never forget when he passed this man in a truck in that 2-row cotton picker, the way he looked at him. He said he had no brakes, just heading down that hill. I said, oh, my Lord. Papa, he used to get so tickled telling us that story.
Yeah, I know some people that
when that happened.
They went on wheat harvest crew, and they were so like they were, the guys, because the combine company had come out with this 35-foot header and they put on the front of this combine. And when they were on the flat ground, it was no big deal. But they got out there and got to heading, they got out like northern Colorado, and they got to going down them big hills with the header up in the air to go from one field to the other. And when they did that, the combine just picked the back wheels off the ground. They ain't got no steering, nothing, and just took off because it's hydrostat,
Yeah.
Is bad.
Yep. Yep, I bet.
So, Dale, on 9 Acre Family Farms, y'all are moving to 7 o'clock for homestead.
We're 7 o'clock now on Thursdays. Yep.
Okay, for people who didn't know that, for
Does that mean
Thursday,
we get just way more cahoots?
Like last week. Okay, so last week it got a little extreme. It went 4 hours, so I had to keep up. I had to keep up with the Leonards,
Right.
But normally we're not going to go that long.
Right.
We're going to try to have you done within an hour to 2 at most.
Hope is good, Karma. I guess. Like I said, I've only seen her one time since.
Angie. Hey, Grumpy.
Angie.
Night, Greg and Donna.
Yep. Yep. Well.
Good night, Greg and Donna.
Yep. Well, I hate to be a party pooper.
Are you working days?
I'm off tomorrow. I've been working. I got called in Sunday because to shut the plant down. So I got called in. I worked till I don't know what time Sunday night. Then they just told me to come on in and work Monday. So I went in for 12 and a half hours Monday. And then I went in today. I worked 11 hours today. And I could work tomorrow, but I've got to go get my shot. So I'm off tomorrow to go get my shot. And then I go back to work Thursday night for my 7 nights. So,
Langley, the best thing you can do is come into like this, be a guest on an open invitation and get your feet wet.
Get your feet wet.
Yep.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, Mickey did do a great job on your cartoon.
Yeah.
Watched it too.
Yeah. I watched it last night after I got off my live. So I had everybody was telling me what it was like and how good it was. Jessica done watched it. I'm like, I will. Like I said, I hadn't had time. When I go to work Thursday, I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that I have some time to get caught up, because I'm telling you, I ain't gonna lie to none of y'all. I've watched a handful of videos, but for the most part, I haven't been hardly even on YouTube. I've had all the videos that y'all seen come out for me, with the exception of 2, if you count our get to know us video. Well, I guess 3, the unboxing. I'm sorry. But as far as an actual video that I've done something around here, it's only been 1 that's been done in 2025. I mean, the rest of them, it's all been already videoed, and it's just been a matter of getting it edited and get it put out. And I mean,
It's kind of like the stuff that is coming out on this channel, Bourbon and Beyond. Like that stuff was from months ago.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah. Well, one way to tell is I got my winter coat on. I got beard and everything else. But
yeah.
Corbin still saw it was you. So he's like, Dale.
That's awesome.
Dale's truck.
Dale's truck.
Yep.
That kid is all about trucks and tractors.
That's awesome.
And animal,
yes,
animals.
Cows.
He likes cows.
He likes watching Johnny's. He's like Trey's. He likes watching Dale. Yeah.
He likes the farm animals, trucks, and tractors.
Tony? I tell you, this pig one of the pigs that we loaded up tonight to take to the processor, when she got in the trailer, Lisa's like, she's crazy. She's not wired right. And we got there to the processor, backed up there unloading. And I told the guy that normally does all of it, I'm like, hey, these aren't our normal, like what we bring you, that are like, you just let them out and I can, walk them with my hand anywhere. I'm like, you might want to set up Fort Knox for these. And we set it up, and this broad comes out of the trailer and she goes past where he wanted her. So he went to go get her, and she tried to take him out. He's like, you weren't kidding. I'm like, no, like, she's not having it. Way to go, Lori.
Yep.
That's awesome.
That's probably that crazy lady that took over your channel the other day.
Yeah, that crazy lady.
That's probably what did it.
You mean that clown?
The clown.
I said, I'm so glad she was not in full gear. Otherwise, I wouldn't have been able to watch it. I'm terrified, very terrified of clowns. Very terrified.
Oh, you should not have told us.
And nobody here is surprised.
Very.
You should have not have told us that.
Oh, no.
10 killer meetup.
No.
I've already decided there's going to be a clown.
I'm staying home. Oh, Trey, what are you doing? I'm about to boot somebody. Tony, and you don't eat meat off the bone. See, Faith is like, no clowns. She's terrified of clowns too.
I'm telling you, that Dakota, that was the way our show pig, because that's what they're used to us.
Oh God! Oh God! Oh God! Oh God!
He's gone.
Oh my gosh! Oh.
Now you're gonna get Evelyn after you.
Oh no!
Talk about your jump scare.
That got me so bad.
Oh my God!
Lori, I hate evil clowns.
He took it off.
It's gone?
Yeah, he took it off.
Okay.
What was it?
It's got the removable.
Oh, never mind. Now he's holding it, playing with it.
Okay, Amy. I'm sorry. Not really, but I won't put it on no more tonight.
That was wrong.
So
Karma's gonna get you. Evelyn's gonna get you.
yeah, you done now, man. You done.
Mark's man.
Somebody's gonna mail Amy a bunch of little clown figures.
I thought.
And you the one that told him.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness.
I love you, but leave my sister alone. Funny. So, like,
no, I can't do it. I will upset Amy, Tony.
no.
I paid a lot of money for that thing back when I bought it. We used to do them haunted woods over there. We had chainsaws, and I chased kids and people around. We made all kind of women pee herself and everything else. We had a ball.
When we all have nightmares tonight, you'll hear from us.
You wouldn't even know she was sick, would you, Chris? She moved so fast.
Right? She got real better real fast.
Hi, Dot. Yeah, he was talking about them pigs that the guy told them to load up in the trailer, and they loaded up. I was helping one time load up county fair pigs at the after the sale. We used to all send them to a buyer. And this old guy that had hauled livestock his whole life, he was like in his 70s. I've been there and done this, and it just turns into like this big old yelling, screaming, chasing down pigs match. And he backs up there to the barn. It's the first time he'd ever come there to load. He said, "Got a couple panels?" He said, "Yeah." So he backs up to the door, with this load and shoot and everything. And he says, "Put all of them in this pen with them panels." And we're like, "Where are we going with this?" So we put them all in there, and people start getting in there, start shoving pigs in the trailer. And he says, "Stop." Everybody just stops and looks at him. He says, "Wait." And then pigs just all around this pen, like running like crazy. And pretty soon, every one of them pigs just stopped. They just stood there. And this old man goes, "Hey." Just like that. He goes, "Ha." Every one of them went in the trailer. It was like the pig whisperer. And he goes, "You got to let them figure out there's no other way out but that way." And when you think about it, it's like, he's right, because that's the one thing about a pig. That's why a pig's so hard to get to go anywhere, because they're smart.
Yeah.
They see every situation. So if you'll let them figure out there's no other way to go other than that way, they're going to go that way, when they get startled. So that's what they did. And from that point on, like, I helped for the next 10 years. That's how we load them. Put them all out there in the alley, let them do their thing, give them no other option. And then when we were ready, hey, and they all just loaded in the trailer.
Oh, man.
Dale, how does that sound again?
Hi.
Wow. Good night.
Night. I got yelled at from the other room, said I was loud and waking somebody up.
Uh-oh.
I get in trouble for that all the time. So what I do, I just put my earbuds in, so Nobody else will wake her up. It'll just be me talking. Bowen. What's up, Bowen? Corbin is saying good night. Corbin saying good night.
Night.
I know what it is. What Amy done. Amy got him to come up there in hopes that it would keep the clown away. That's
Mm-mm.
You see, Dale.
I like that, Dale. That's pretty good.
Is that Dale? Is that Dale?
Hi, Corbin. What you doing, buddy?
Come on now.
Yeah.
Ready for bed?
Are you ready for bed? You ready for bed?
Ready for bed.
Mm. Bed. You sleepy? Mm-hmm. Say hi, Evelyn. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Night shift is here.
Night shift.
Say hi, Chris.
Hi, Corbin.
Got stuff in your hair. Ew.
How you feeling, Amy?
I'm good. I'm good right now.
Okay.
Not a couple minutes ago, you weren't.
Well,
No.
no, she moved like the wind.
She pretty quick. Pretty quick.
And I'm not being rude. I mean, you moved. I was like waiting for you to have a coughing fit.
She was gone like leaves in the fall, man.
Forgot all about being sick.
Maybe it cured her.
Golly.
Hi,
Tell you
Dale.
what, chest pains.
Hi, Chris.
Oh, hi, Trey.
Hey, Chris.
About time for you to go to bed, ain't it?
It is. I'm getting there. I'm telling you, I'm so ready to get over. I'm ready for normal. I'm ready for normal.
Papa.
Have you had a little?
Papa.
Dude,
Have you got your gummy in your hand, Trey?
Whoa. What kind of gummy are we taking here?
Oh, they're special gummies.
Oh.
No.
oh, there's Heather.
Take it away.
What do you mean I'm not normal, Angie? I'm normal.
Sleepies.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sleepies.
But if Johnny's wanting one of those light bars, what I was trying to get to, they're called the Wheeland brand, and they're the Edge model, and they've got like the corner strobes, but they've got all blue lenses because those were two light bars that I had on the police boat there in Lake Louisville in Denton County, Texas, because we replaced the strobes for LEDs.
Hey. We're trying to have a live here. Why don't you calm down? Stinking dog.
So what kind of dog did Christopher bring home?
Apparently a noisy one. Here, let me step out so he can come show off their.
She's half
I think Moses said she was red healer.
red healer and lab, I guess.
It doesn't look like a red healer to me. It looks like a black dog.
Mm-hmm. Part lab, I guess.
I was going to say it looks like more like a lab.
Yeah, Chris. Got white on her toes.
So is he going to be helping Christopher jump fences now for feeding animals?
Yeah.
Come on, Evan.
Evelyn.
Goodness gracious.
Oh,
Yeah.
Got noisy.
So then that means if he's got a dog, that means Faith is going to get a couple of chickens, right?
Faith has tried getting those little chicks, and she got so scared, like I did just a while ago with the clown. She did that because it jumped out the box onto my bed.
Well, I'm just picking on Faith because she hadn't done any video content hardly, except for the one time when her and Christopher were throwing snowballs at each other.
When was the last time you posted a video? Christmas. Yeah, Christmas was about the last time she loaded.
It's like, how can I support when she's not putting out content?
All right, I'm done sharing.
She said the first like a knock in the semester is
the first trimester is no joke. It's like a smack in the face.
You wait until you're in the third stage, girl.
I'm loving the second stage though.
I'm just, I can see it now. Towards the end, when it's about happening, she goes, I want that epidural, and they're going, it's too late.
I'm agreeing to it when I get there.
You need to be tough like this. I've never had any of that stuff.
When are we going to do it?
When we gonna go?
When are we starting that? Yeah.
You're gonna be at the receptionist desk getting checked in. She's
Night,
like,
Avid.
Have a great night at work, Avid.
Night, Avid.
He's not
Well, Trey, I just wanted to tell you thank you for the video of Bunny.
Sit down like this. There you go.
You're
There you
welcome.
go. Boom.
She's looking good.
I did. He didn't want to know more.
Yeah, she's not getting any nicer. But I don't know. Ever since I got a hope to her the other day, I haven't been rooted again.
Well, how's Hope doing?
Well, today was really the first day that I've seen her, and she actually came in and eat while I was within about 6 foot of her. But now she did keep at least one eye on me the whole time.
Well, maybe Miss Karma's magic is working.
I don't know. We trying it.
Oh, I'm telling you, Dakota, I'd be all about eating some Avid's barbecue. Avid's talking about having a meetup over there where he's at. That's not that far away, really.
Yes, Tony, I used to be a police officer in Denton County, Texas, in a place called, the city was Little Elm, Texas, because that borders Lake Louisville, and I was the Marine Patrol officer in charge of that division.
It's good.
He's over by St. Louis. I'm answering Dakota in the chat.
Yeah,
sorry.
That's why I figured when you said where is he, that's why I figured you said St. Louis. Angie said when she's waddling to the fridge at 100 degrees outside.
Yeah, that ain't no kidding.
Make you rethink all kinds of situations there, huh, Angie?
Yeah.
Yeah, especially no longer be able to jump on a trampoline, can't sneeze.
I never liked jumping on a trampoline.
I never liked jumping on a trampoline.
Well, this is the first time I've done StreamYard on my cell phone, so hey, I figured that out, so I'm doing good.
Can you eat it? I'm gonna take it.
You're not the full screen here.
Take it.
You have to turn your phone.
You want me to take it?
There you go.
Oh, no, turn it back the other way. That's too much, Chris.
Got a bat in the cave.
Dad hates when we do that. When we're on FaceTime. We'll get off the camera looking.
Yes.
So are you still going to stand us up, Trey, and not come to 10 Killer?
Well, I don't know. We're going to see how things is going. If I come, I'll have to take off work to come.
Look, watch.
So we done looked. I thought we all talked about it, Matt. This has been a few months ago. and I thought I was off. But what I done is I looked at the schedule that I was on at the time, and I would be
I'm
off.
gonna put it in the fridge,
But
okay?
my work does a shift rotation.
Good night, Jan.
Like I told you, Cedar, one year we missed Thanksgiving, but we're off for Christmas. And then we do a rotation swap. And I go the opposite 7 days that I worked the previous year. And when we done our rotation this year, it put me on, instead of being off the weekend 10 killer, it puts me working the weekend 10 killer.
So what you're saying is you're going to stand this up?
No, I have time. I have time to burn.
I mean, see it now.
I'm gonna say, don't you be telling me you're gonna make Mid-American, because I can't make Mid-American.
Nor can I.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know when that one is. But I know it's May, but I don't remember the dates compared with my schedule.
So Tony, was it Denton Police that gave that to you? Because it wasn't me, because I worked at Little Elm. And Amy, I can't see the chat, so you'll have to tell me his response.
Hey, look, Dakota, they do. I think it's actually, I get about 4 weeks of vacation, and I get 6 days or 7 days of sick time. So, but the thing with it is, in this whole situation, the first 4 days, which is Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, that's when I make my money. So I could take off every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and it wouldn't change anything. But it's that Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It's there's a very, very noticeable difference. So, and if I take vacation, I still don't get that OT. But anyway, I don't know. Me and Jessica's already talked about it. We do want to come, so I'm gonna see. I mean, all I gotta do is take off. I mean,
more than just like part of a day. Like you need to come and actually hang out.
I think what I tell y'all it was like 7 hours. I think
you said 8 hours the other night.
8. Where was it at? I don't remember. What's the exact name?
Tahlequah, Oklahoma.
Yeah, I knew it was something I can't pronounce or probably spell. Let me see. It's probably still.
Go ahead, Trey. Say Tahlequah.
Tahlequah.
There you go.
Now. Okay, 6 hours and 38 minutes.
Dude, you can almost be there as long as what it takes me to get there, because I can't get there from here.
Yeah.
Like I got to go around.
You can't get there from there?
No. There's no straight shot from here to there.
Yep. Yes, I know, Peter. I know.
So, Dale, what meetups are you going to?
We're for sure going to 10 Killer, and Nana says we're going to go to Jan's at Pomme de Terre. For sure. Past that, I don't know.
And Amy, what is the link? Is it YouTube for Webb's Web, or?
It's Webb's Web. Ralph at Webb's Web.
Yeah.
Okay.
Has a link on his YouTube channel that takes you to a document that has the time that everybody goes live and where all the meetups and stuff that he knows about are at.
Well, the reason why I'm asking is I looked it up, tried Googling it, and I couldn't find it, so I didn't know.
Yeah, it's on.
Somebody's going to have to find the link and put it in here. So
okay.
So Chris can have it. Yeah.
Well, just remember, Trey, per the contract, verbal contract, if you come to 10 Killer, you're supposed to have a trailer with a bunny in it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'll be a fun trip.
Yes, it would.
Oh, don't worry. Then I got to borrow your trailer so I can bring her home. And then I have to drive from my house all the way back to your house with your trailer to return it. Then I have to turn around and drive all the way back to my house.
Yeah. It might be cheaper all the way around if you just come visit Bunny.
Well, I can guarantee you're not going to put me to work because you ain't going to hire me.
I'll let you come work. Jessica can cook. She cooks really, really well.
I can put spark plugs in that tractor of yours.
In that diesel tractor?
Yeah.
And install a light bar.
I'm gonna get some lights on it. I may try me some of them LED lights. I can buy matching ones. Make the whole tractor match.
We'll get you one of those LED light bars that like they put on trucks.
I've got 2 of them.
Did you check your laundry?
Well, they're DC. They're DC.
Yeah, I think they're 24-inch ones. Is what I've got.
So, being that you were like law enforcement, Chris.
Yes, sir.
Isn't there a law against your headlights being too bright?
There's a law that says that in Texas, I can only quote Texas, okay? So, because I know Texas law, if your headlights are not adjusted properly, and if your headlights are causing people to, can't, all this, yes.
Like these newer vehicles,
I hate them.
I have to come to a complete stop in the road.
Oh, I'm doing like this. I'm putting the hand up so I can just see the fog line, and I'm driving the fog line because I have to with those they're not LEDs, but they've got that whatever, I can't think what they're called.
Like there's got to be some kind of law against that crap.
But they're super bright, and I don't like driving at night anymore. Yeah. I want to borrow Trey's welding helmet so when I drive at night, maybe one with a clown face on it.
Yeah.
I'm joking, Amy.
Hey,
he's behaving now. It's because he's tired.
Don't do it, Trey. Oh no.
When Jessica hears about this, Trey, she's gonna kick your behind.
Yeah.
You're gonna be sleeping out there with the cows.
Hey, we have people down here that runs. They put the 24-inch light bars, the big light bars in the front, and they run with them down the road.
Well, do you know in Louisiana,
no more.
Everybody is related to somebody, and they're all deputy sheriffs and something, and everybody's got light bars.
Wait, you're that's Alabama. That's not Louisiana.
Oh no, that was in Lake Charles, Louisiana. I know
that's different down there. That's down south. That's a whole different breed of people down there.
So what you're saying is you're a Yank?
No.
You're in the north.
I'm just not a Cooney.
You're not a coon.
Exactly.
Well, all I can say is this: when I do come down there, we're doing a crawfish boil.
Oh, that ain't nothing to that. There's big crawfish bowls everywhere. I have a buddy of mine that puts one on at his airport every year, and I don't remember how many thousands of pounds he does.
Troy,
dude, this is like
today.
Dude, what? Dale?
I've been subscribed and I cannot find it.
I know. Hey, I'm the same way. I was hoping you would find it because I've been looking for it on mine. I've actually went in and going through my subscriptions and I hadn't found it.
Yet. I know I'm subscribed and everything. I watch stuff from him and I can't find it.
Yep. I'm looking right now.
So somebody said that they sent the link to I think it was Karma that said she sent the link to Chris.
Yeah.
Karma, is there any way you can put it inside the chat?
I mean, I've even went and searched it, and it's the only one that's pulling up really is one that's got only 4 or 5 subscribers or something. I have no idea. It's weird. It's like it's not even there.
Someday, Tony, I got to tell you about the story when I was in a police car and I went through Denton, Texas, and a female Denton police officer pulled me over in a marked police car. I'll have to tell you that one day. And she didn't like me after I said what I said to her.
I've seen on Highway 169 going through Tulsa, I've seen OHP pull over TPD.
Ah, got it.
I had a prisoner in the back seat of the car.
I found it, Dale.
Taking him to the Denton County jail.
You found it?
Yeah, I found it. I'm getting it.
How'd you find it?
I went through every one of my subscriptions.
Man, I got Amy's cough now. She gave it to me. She gave it to me through the internet.
Oh, you come on, you crazy thing. Now it ain't wanting to act right.
Man, I'm with Dakota. Yeah, that's class A blankety blank stuff right there. That's a me turn around, go come and whip you like a rented mule.
What'd he say?
Driving with a light bar.
Running with a light bar is class A butthole.
They do it here. I'm telling you, they do it here, and they'll be them big jacked up 4-wheel drive, so that light bar's hitting you right dead in the eyes.
There you go.
There you go,
Chris.
Chris.
Click on. There it is.
Crikey. All right, I'm gonna get off here. I'm coughing. Later.
All right.
Oh, daggone.
Golly, everybody's got the cough.
Well,
I ain't got no cough.
I ain't got no cough
yet.
I got the yawns. I done yawned about 40 times I've been on here. So,
yeah.
Well, Thursday night we're gonna try. I come up with a second monitor. We're gonna try a second monitor for the cahoots and everything instead of splitting screens. Now I'm coughing.
You ain't got a cough, Dale?
He was still hanging in there though.
Well, I don't know what Thursday night, especially 7 o'clock, is going to be really tough because I start work at 6, and I know we have meetings right now. There's a safety meeting at 6 in the morning and a safety meeting at 6 in the evening, and it lasts about 30 minutes, just the safety meeting. So I think we've got about 2 weeks left on this turnaround. So.
Oh no, it got Dale. Oh, it's a bronchitis. It's got me.
Yeah. Well, before it gets me, I'm finna get off here because I done took my gummies about 25 minutes ago now to get a head start on
Dude,
this.
we're talking about the gummies, man. I'm starting to get nervous. Like you've been hanging out in the
look,
Oklahoma and the Arkansas and the Missouri.
Like I said on my live last night, I'm fixing to get over here, and I'm tired right now. But I'm telling you, I'm gonna lay down, and my eyes are gonna go wide awake. It's the craziest thing, and I'll sit over here and I'll fight it. It's I don't know.
I can tell you something that used to cure that for me. I don't do that no more.
Yeah,
about 2 highballs of a good bourbon.
Yeah. I don't know of anything, but I'm telling you, I don't know. I'm normally a night owl, but it has been kicking my butt for ever since I got sick. I cannot get leveled back out. Now I don't know. Anyway, I ain't gonna hold y'all up. But I will see y'all maybe Thursday night. If I do, it'll probably be toward the end time we get. Okay. Because that's when I go back to work. But anyway, guys. All right, Amy, Chris, I appreciate y'all letting me come on.
Up.
I'll see you there, Mr. Dale and everybody else.
Be careful, Mr. Trey.
I do. We'll see y'all.
All right.
just the two of us.
We can make it if we try. Just
Three of us.
Well, three of us, but I'm saying there's two on the.
I know what you mean.
Yeah, and then Chris, he just drops out, and he says he's the night crew. You know,
It's about like the night crew. They show up and work for about that long, and then kind of just disappear for a while, and then show back up and time the clock back out.
yeah, that kind of does sound kind of
It
familiar.
sounds
Yeah,
just like the night crew.
yeah.
Faith, Uncle Dale takes the win. Well,
Lori says she could come up.
yeah,
Except for it's pushing
yeah.
10:30, and
Uh-oh.
she wants to go to bed.
Uh-oh.
Okay, Trey's gone now. I'm here.
You get everything squared away?
It has to be that dead burnt oregano. At least that's what Miss Lori said before I left the chat room. Because I had an Italian pizza tonight, and I'm like, that's how come I wasn't coming on earlier, because I was sitting there eating the pizza.
Yeah, I've got to take some more meds and then probably head to bed. Because this is the first full day that I've done anything.
Full day. It's the first day, period. You've been more than 5 feet from your bed, probably.
Yeah. So.
Well, it's been, what, 2 weeks now?
No.
Bowen.
Probably all week, but yeah.
Yeah, it's probably. You were all right towards last weekend.
She says I'm sleeping in tomorrow.
No, you're not. You're getting up when I get up. I'm gonna come in here and turn every darn light in this house on.
Or no donuts for her.
Right? Yeah. You don't get up, you don't get no donuts.
Oh no.
Bowen's over here singing.
What are you singing, Bowen?
Dale knows. But
I'm gonna have to
anyway,
watch replay.
so am I. I've been in and out. I hadn't really heard anything. I did something for Chris, and then I went on another platform and debated the dude about baptism. I've done a lot of things. I don't know what that dude's doing, but he's lost it. But anyhow, yeah, I've been in and out. So yeah, I missed the whole live.
Yeah.
It's been running.
This baby's kicking my butt.
All right, so I've got one question. Does Canada have like a lottery thing like we've got here in the United States?
I don't know.
The reason why I'm asking, a certain somebody,
Hi, Scorpion.
That likes sparkles and glitter, I feel like, that person needs to go buy a lottery ticket tonight because, quadruple winner.
Hey, she's got a U.S. address too, so maybe she could just use that one and come over and buy one. I don't know how that would work.
I would think that she should buy one because, being a quadruple winner.
Yeah.
Scotty.
She needs to do something.
The chickens need you, Grumpy.
Right.
Man, I went out to the chicken the other day, and I got one limping. Oh, man.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know if that's something wrong with his foot, but I ain't dealing with it. I'm gonna get it in the crock pot.
Did you ever get the crock pots I was telling you about, Bowen?
When I was broke, I did too. But I was broke. That looked like a good idea. That was kind of clutch the other day.
Okay.
Gail knows I don't like Western water. No, man. No,
I'm telling you, my Thunder's pan is an old pressure cooker. The old screw screw handle pressure cooker bottom.
Yeah.
And that thing is a solid block of ice. And where it's sitting turned into a solid block of ice. So it's froze into that. I can't, like, I'm going to have to put another water pan in there because I can't give the poor boy any more water after tonight when it freezes again, you know. And now they're talking about single digits here for this weekend. We were going to go and try to chase some more longtails out in the grass, and that got canceled.
Yeah. I want to go. I want to go shoot. I want to go analyze some of those things.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm thinking about trying to work on something for next year. Like some kind of a YouTuber hunt, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I've actually wondered if it wouldn't work out better to have it, you know, at a reserve or something like a preserve or something like that, you know, where you got a bunch of people coming, you know, from all over. Because I'd hate for somebody to travel like 8 or 10 hours and then no bird whatsoever, you know, because where we hunt a lot of that walk-in hunting and public ground and stuff, you know, you only hit like you may go 2 or 3 different places before you get into a bird, you know.
Right.
Or 2 or 3.
No, I don't disagree. They got one of those places near me.
Now everything that's on my videos, I'll be on my videos and stuff like that, other than those quail from the video today, have been you know, they're all wild birds. There ain't a single pen raised bird out there, you know. But it takes there's a lot of footage I have to cut out of just empty walking through grass, you know.
Was that on public land or that you were going out doing pheasant hunting?
Yeah.
Well, some and a lot of private ground that, like, I'm a guest on. Night, Scorpion.
Good night, Scorpion.
So the way I imagine it is the guy, Dale's Weird, has rights to all those places. And
well, yeah. It's friend of like the one place that I go, like it's been a 20-year relationship before finally, you can go hunt that.
Yeah.
But only after my family does, you know, and stuff like that. So Dad and I went to the north part of Kansas, like north central, a week ago, and we hunted some public ground, and we got into the first one was a dead, like we walked almost 2 miles, never seen a bird. The next place we didn't walk a quarter of a mile and had 5 roosters get up in that quarter of a mile. So
but because what we do, what I've done, what is common practice in the hunting industry, in the archery world is, you got clients, you want some. Prime example, they wanted us to carry a bow in the archery shop. So they was like, all right, you bring your son. We know he's in a wheelchair. Bring your son. Come down here to Alabama. Look at these blows. And in exchange, we'll let your son shoot a deer.
Yeah.
That's basically, you know.
Yeah.
And that's all over. People do
it's
that
funny you said Alabama, Bowen. There's a gentleman that my mom, he's been coming up here for probably 25 years hunting on, you know, with a outfitter up here. My mom and him have become really good friends, and that's what he does. Is he puts on hunts for people who would normally not get a hunt,
Right.
And
hold on, Jeff. I'm
yeah,
gonna send you something. I'm gonna send you a picture. You can tell the story. Check your phone in about a second.
okay. But this old cat, he was showing me, like, he's done very well for himself throughout the years. And like this now is like his goal, his mission is to make anybody that wants to be able to harvest a deer, no matter what your capability is, that it'll happen. So he built this round, heated, up on stilts stand with food plot all around it that's wheelchair accessible and everything. And that's what they do. Like, they bring anybody that wants to come there 100% free to them, and they go there and harvest them a deer.
Nice.
Yeah.
So I assume the bottom portion is caged then, right?
Oh, yeah. No. Like, it's just stilts, and it has a big long ramp going up.
Well, no, I'm talking about below where the deer would be. How do you keep the deer in it?
No, these are wild deer. They just have feeders and food plots.
Okay,
and,
okay.
It's not like a high fence.
Yeah.
Hey, that's a good one right there, man.
Well, yeah, that's
like
where
a real good one. I love that.
That was where that was the end of that story. Like I said, I went down to Alabama. That was a nice life. But yeah, for like a meetup, you would have to do that live. Unless you had really good public ground. You really wanted to. And the other thing is, what about food? These lodges cook for you. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So
Good night,
in my
Amy.
mind,
just leave it up. I'll run it for you.
Yeah. And that's kind of what I'm thinking is, like, if I could get a deal set up, like there's one not very far from me. Like, I kind of know the people, and see how much per person it would be. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And because I'm going to tell you, for somebody who's never been at all, you'll love every bit of it. You know what I mean? Like, they do the best job they can of making it, like a real hunt.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to jump off so I can. I don't want to be keeping a.
Me neither.
Yeah, me neither.
Bowen,
I'm
have a
tired too.
All right, Bowen.
Take care, Chris.
Hey, Chris.
Thank y'all for coming up.
You bet.
Oh,
give me Chris.
My back's starting to hurt. So.
Hey, Chris. Text me when the cook comes in. Y'all know how bonfire is. Slow, slow. So just let me know.
I'll let you know.
I'll delete the email. All right, bye.
All right.
Talk to everybody later. Love y'all.
Good night. Good night, everyone. Thank y'all for being here. Anyone want to do a late night live? That's what Chris said. All right, y'all. Love you guys. I'll see y'all tomorrow, 5 o'clock Central Standard Time.